I'm Hannah. Up until not long ago, I believed I had everything in life figured out. My husband Angel and I were living blissfully in a lovely apartment situated in a desirable neighborhood. We were both gainfully employed, I as a marketing manager and Angel as the head of sales at a sports nutrition firm. Our life's blueprint was straightforward: save diligently for a home and then begin our family. We lived modestly, sharing a single car. Each morning, Angel would drop me off at work on his way to his office, and I would find my own way back in the evenings. Although it wasn't always convenient, our determination kept us on track. Everything took a different turn when Angel's sister, Anna, visited us with her 2 children. As a widow who lost her husband to a tragic accident, Anna was often the focus of our in-laws' protective instincts. They always tried to ensure she didn't feel isolated, prompting them to send her to stay with us. Angel was ecstatic about their arrival, eagerly assisting with her luggage. I nodded along, trying to mirror his enthusiasm. Sure, it'll be nice to spend time together, I agreed. Initially, Angel's attentiveness to Anna and her children appeared sweet. He spent hours playing with the kids, listened to Anna's problems, and went out of his way to ensure their comfort. However, as days turned into weeks, Angel's focus on Anna became more intense, and he began insisting that I prioritize her needs as well. Hannah, can you help Anna with the kids' laundry? Or why don't you take Anna shopping? She needs some relaxation, he would suggest. Exhausted from my day job, I was now expected to cater to every one of Anna's whims. The situation reached a boiling point when Angel made it clear that accommodating Anna was our top priority. Anna's having a hard time. We need to make her stay as comfortable as possible. Can't you be more understanding? He pleaded. I stared back in disbelief. Angel, I'm trying, but I'm exhausted. I work all day and then come home to cook and clean for everyone. I need a break too, I expressed, tired and frustrated. He frowned, dissatisfied with my response. Anna is a single mom. She needs our support. You should be more sympathetic, he retorted. Angel's continual fuss over Anna and her kids left me feeling sidelined. Days became weeks, and Anna showed no signs of leaving. After grueling days at the ad agency, I would return home only to cook and clean for everyone, constantly criticized by Angel. One evening, as Angel complained about the spiciness of the food not suiting Anna, I nearly broke down. Angel, I'm doing my best. I'm tired too, you know, I responded, holding back tears. He sharply replied, advocating for Anna's exhaustion and inability to cook due to her responsibilities with the children. I took a deep breath, attempting to maintain my composure. I understand that, but I began, only to be cut off. No buts, Hannah. We need to support her, Angel insisted. I nodded silently, avoiding another conflict. It was clear to me, Anna was enduring a difficult phase, both mentally and physically. Yet, I was growing weary of Angel's unrelenting reproaches and yearned for our lives to return to normal. One evening, as I pondered over our strained dynamics, I realized something had fundamentally shifted in our relationship, and I feared where it might lead. I was up to my elbows in soapy water, scrubbing away at the dinner dishes, when Angel suddenly changed the evening's peaceful rhythm. Hannah, we need to talk, he announced, leaning casually against the kitchen counter. I dried my hands, a sense of foreboding settling over me. What's on your mind? I asked, trying to sound calm. Anna's thinking about moving here to the city for a job, he revealed, a spark of excitement in his voice. My heart skipped a beat. This was completely out of the blue. Oh, that's surprising, I managed to say. Yeah, isn't it fantastic? Angel continued, oblivious to my discomfort. But here's what I was thinking. You could quit your job and stay home to manage the house and kids. The plate I was holding nearly slipped through my fingers and crashed into the sink. Excuse me? You can't be serious, I stammered. Angel frowned, his expression firm. I am serious. Anna needs to work, and someone has to look after the kids. I was stunned. Angel, I'm not giving up my career to babysit someone else's children. That's just not fair. What's not fair, he countered sharply, is expecting Anna to juggle everything by herself. Taking a deep breath, I tried to keep the peace. Let's think about this for a moment. Where does Anna plan to live if she gets this job? Before he could answer, Anna herself breezed into the kitchen, grinning. Oh, didn't Angel tell you? I'll be moving in here with my awesome brother. He's always been so supportive. I turned to Angel, my eyes demanding an immediate explanation. He shifted uneasily. Hannah, can we discuss this later? He muttered, avoiding my gaze. No, Angel. We need to talk about this now, I insisted, my voice shaking a little. I'm not comfortable with this setup. It's already crowded here with just the three of us. Angel's face suddenly brightened, as though he had just thought of a brilliant idea. But honey, this could be perfect. We've been planning to buy a house anyway. Now we have an even better reason to move sooner. There'll be plenty of room for everyone. I couldn't believe his audacity. Angel, that's not the point. We can't just... He cut me off mid-sentence, his attention drifting. Sorry, Hannah. We'll talk later. I promised the kids some playtime. And just like that, he was off, leaving me alone, standing dumbfounded in the kitchen, feeling like I'd been blindsided. From that day forward, things between us shifted. Angel no longer drove me to work, always the same excuse. Sorry, babe, I'm really swamped this morning. I knew something was off, but had no proof, and found myself shouldering the burden of the commute. One afternoon, I returned home early, hoping to catch a break and perhaps prepare dinner in advance. Instead, I walked into complete chaos. Anna was lounging on the sofa, engrossed in a reality TV show, while her kids wreaked havoc around her. Anna, I tried to keep my composure. What's happening here? She barely looked up. Oh, hi Hannah. The kids were bored, so I let them play. I surveyed the scene in horror. The walls were scribbled with crayon. Mysterious stains marred the sofa, and my cherished houseplants were toppled over, dirt scattered all around. This isn't playing, Anna. This is destroying our home. I found it hard to hide my frustration as I spoke to Anna, who simply shrugged nonchalantly and returned her focus to the television. They're just kids, Hannah. Lighten up, she said. Taking a deep breath and counting to 10 silently, I tried to steer the conversation towards something constructive. Anna, weren't you searching for a job? Any luck with that? She waved her hand dismissively. Oh, I've sent out my resume to numerous places, but nothing appealing has come up yet. They all demand too much for too little pay. I'm not that desperate. I clenched my teeth, holding back a sharp response. Of course, she wasn't desperate. After all, she was living comfortably with Angel and me, and we were shouldering all the expenses and chores. That evening, as Angel and I prepared for bed, I attempted once more to reason with him. Angel, we need to establish some basic rules. Anna can't continue to let the kids run wild, and she really needs to start helping out with household chores. Angel sighed, his expression one of exasperation. Hannah, Anna's having a tough time. Can't you cut her some slack? Slack? Angel? I've been giving her slack for weeks, and our home is turning into a disaster. I'm doing everything around here, and you make me feel like I'm the unreasonable one. Keep your voice down, Angel hissed. You'll wake everyone up. Look, I know it's not ideal, but she's family. We need to stick together. As I lay in bed later, listening to the quiet rhythm of Angel's breathing, I found myself wondering when I had ceased to be considered part of the family, and more distressingly, how much longer I could endure living this way. As the days stretched into weeks, the household chaos only deepened. Angel seemed completely oblivious to the turmoil his sister and her children were causing. Every time I tried to introduce some order or ask the children to tidy up after themselves, Anna would quickly complain to Angel. Angel, I overheard her say one evening, her voice laden with feigned concern, I don't think Hannah likes the kids. She's always telling them off and making them clean. They're just children, you know. I waited, hoping Angel would stand up for me and explain that asking for basic cleanliness wasn't unreasonable. Instead, I heard him sigh. I'm sorry, Anna. I'll talk to her. That night, Angel confronted me in our bedroom. Look at this place, Hannah. It's a mess. If you can't manage it with the kids around, then maybe what, Angels? I interjected, already dreading the conclusion he was reaching. Maybe you should consider quitting your job. If you were home full-time, you could keep the house in order without so much stress on the kids." I laughed bitterly, disbelief mingling with anger. "So now it's child labor to expect kids to clean up after themselves? Angel, do you even hear yourself?" But he wasn't really listening. He'd been pushing this narrative for a while, and I was tired of resisting it. "You know what, Angel?
Fine.
You want me to quit?" "I quit," I declared, though my mind was already forming a different plan. His eyes widened in surprise. "Really? You mean it?" I nodded.
Yep.
"I'll call work tomorrow and tell them." Angel's face lit up with a wide grin, and he hugged me tightly, not noticing my rigid posture. "Oh, Hannah, this is fantastic. You'll see. Everything will be better now." The next day, I did call work, but not to resign. Instead, I spoke with my boss and explained that I needed to take some urgent personal time to sort out my home life, hinting at changes that were brewing but not yet decided. I had recently agreed to take 1 month of unpaid leave for family reasons. Fortunately, I had trained an intern who was ready to step in during my absence, and my boss was supportive when I submitted my request. When I broke the news to Angel that I would be quitting my job temporarily, his face lit up with pride. He exchanged a knowing look with Anna, as if to say, "See, I knew Hannah would understand the importance of family." Observing their celebratory moment, I felt disconnected, almost like an outsider in my own home. Despite the odd feeling, I reminded myself that this arrangement was just for 5 months, a period I had given myself to evaluate how things would unfold and to see if Angel would recognize the missteps in our current setup. The following morning, Angel left for work, giving me a kiss on the cheek and wishing me a great day at home, confident that I would handle everything perfectly. I managed a smile and waved him off before turning to face the chaos inside our house. Anna was lounging on the sofa, remote in hand, while her kids ran around wildly. From that day forward, my life became an endless cycle of household chores and childcare. Each morning, I woke at dawn to prepare breakfast for everyone, pack Angel's lunch, and then spend the rest of my day cleaning, cooking, and watching over Anna's children. Meanwhile, Anna seemed to be on a never-ending vacation, often leaving the house to shop or meet friends for coffee, casually leaving her kids in my care without a second thought. As the days merged into a blur of domestic duties, I watched Anna drive away in Angel's car, feeling stranded at home, juggling housework and childcare. Angel, for his part, seemed completely unaware of the imbalance. He would return home, give me a peck on the cheek, and casually ask about my day, as though I had chosen this life, as though I was living out my dream rather than sacrificing for his sister's convenience. One evening, as I served a dinner I had spent hours preparing while Anna took a nap, Angel announced that Anna's birthday was coming up. He had planned something special and told Anna to keep her schedule free for the evening of the 13th. On her birthday, we all drove to LeBlanc, the most expensive restaurant in town, a place Angel and I had once dreamt of visiting for our anniversaries, but always decided against to save money for our house. At the restaurant, Angel's parents greeted us, showering Anna with attention and barely acknowledging me. As we settled in, I felt more like an observer than a participant in the celebration. The dinner conversation centered entirely on Anna, her challenges, her strengths, and her dreams. I remained quiet, feeling increasingly invisible. After the main course, Angel stood up and tapped his glass to make a toast. He praised Anna for her resilience and strength, which he said he greatly admired. As the applause died down, he reached into his pocket to reveal a special surprise for her birthday, deepening the sense of exclusion I felt at that moment. At that moment, holding a small box, my heart soared with hope. Could this be a surprise? Was he about to thank me for all my sacrifices with a thoughtful gift? However, as he turned towards Anna, my anticipation dissolved. He presented the box to her, saying, "Anna, you've mentioned the struggles of getting around with the kids." Opening the box, he revealed a set of car keys and exclaimed, "Happy birthday, sis. Here's your very own car, just like you always wanted." The room burst into cheers and applause. Anna leapt up and embraced Angel, overwhelmed with joy. "Oh my God, Angel, I can't believe this. You're the best brother ever. Meanwhile, I sat frozen, shock gripping me. He had bought her a car? Memories of countless conversations where I had expressed our need for a second car flooded my mind. Each time, Angel had dismissed it, saying we needed to save for a house. Angel, I began, striving for composure, may I ask why you chose such an expensive gift for Anna? The room fell silent. All eyes on us. Angel's smile wavered. Well, Anna really needs a car. It's tough for her to take the kids to the park or doctor visits, and it'll be essential when she starts her job. His words stung. And what about us? I've been asking for a second car for months. Angel's expression turned stern. Hannah, you're home all day. You don't need a car. His dismissive tone felt like a physical blow. How much did this car cost, Angel? He shifted uneasily. $37,070. The room seemed to spin. $77,070? Where did that money come from? Angel cleared his throat. I took it from our joint account, but I'll replace it once my work bonus comes through. I couldn't contain my frustration any longer. You took our savings without discussing it with me? That was for our house. Angel, I want that money back now. Angel's mother gasped. Hannah, how can you be so selfish? Your sister-in-law needs this car. But my patience had worn thin. Selfish? I've sacrificed my career, my dreams, my identity for this family. Angel's face flushed with anger. If you're going to be so greedy and inflexible, fine. I'll take out a loan and replace the money. No. I exploded, past the point of caring about the spectacle we were causing. I don't want a loan. I want you to sell the car and return our savings. Anna, who had been quiet, chimed in sharply. See, Angel, I told you she was controlling. You're letting her dictate everything. Angel's parents nodded in agreement. His father spoke sternly. Hannah, you need to understand your place. Angel is the head of this household. I felt overwhelmed, as if I were drowning in a sea of judgment. Angel stood abruptly, his chair scraping loudly. That's enough, Hannah. You've ruined the evening with your behavior. Don't you know how to act in public? Tears welled up as the weight of the evening crashed down on me. As tears threatened to break free, I restrained them and stood, grasping my purse firmly. I'm leaving, I announced, my voice steady. Angel, no longer mindful of the other diners gawking at us, erupted. Get out, you ungrateful freeloader. I'm the breadwinner here, and you ought to listen to me. Perhaps if you actually worked, you might earn a say, he continued, his words striking me like punches. I yearned to shout back that I hadn't quit my job, that I was just on leave, but I swallowed the words. What was the use? Their minds were made up about me. Exiting the restaurant, Angel's ranting echoed behind me, proclaiming how I lived off his efforts and dared to question his choices. The cool night air brushed against my face as tears finally escaped. I felt a mixture of humiliation, anger, and a resolute decision to end this. I arrived at our apartment, my hands trembling as I tried the keys. The nanny glanced up in surprise as I stormed in, tears marking my face. In our bedroom, I robotically packed my suitcase with clothes, essentials, and some cherished keepsakes. I left Angel a concise note. I'm at a hotel. Don't contact me. The hotel room felt stark, yet provided a refuge. That night, sleep was elusive as I replayed the distressing dinner. By dawn, I was resolute. I called a reputable divorce lawyer, Ana Garcia, as soon as her office opened. In her office, I recounted the slow decay of our marriage, the financial betrayals, and the humiliation endured. Ana listened intently, scribbling notes. Based on your account, you have a solid basis for divorce, she affirmed after I had finished. Driven by a need for a fresh start, I secured a small apartment near my workplace and requested to resume work early, which my boss readily agreed to. Settling into a new routine, I hoped for a straightforward divorce without malice, seeking only fairness. During our initial mediation session, I proposed, let's handle this amicably. Just return the money you used for your sister's car, and we can split the rest of our funds equally. Angel scoffed at this. That car was a gift. "You're being unreasonable," he countered. It became clear after several unproductive sessions that we would need to settle this in court. The ensuing months blurred into a series of legal battles and court dates, with Angel resisting at every turn, attempting to cast me in a negative light. After what seemed like an endless legal battle, the judge finally delivered her verdict. Mr. Johnson had inappropriately used shared funds to buy a car for his sister without his wife's consent. The judge ruled that this was unlawful, and he was ordered to pay Mrs. Johnson half the car's value and all legal fees. Relief flooded through me as the judge spoke. This wasn't just about money. It was about justice being heard and having my rights upheld. Angel was visibly angry as we exited the courthouse. "I hope you're happy," he hissed, accusing me of being greedy. In the weeks that followed, Angel adhered to the court's decision and transferred the necessary funds to my account. He had to secure a loan to meet the financial demands, but I felt no remorse. His choices had led us here, and now we were both navigating the aftermath. 3 months post-divorce, I had embraced a new beginning. My modest apartment was a sanctuary of tranquility and simple pleasures, a stark contrast to the chaos of my previous marriage. I revived old friendships, dedicated myself to my job, and even started nurturing a small herb garden on my balcony. For the first time in a long while, I felt genuinely at peace with myself. One quiet Sunday, I was startled by a knock at the door. Peering through the peephole, my heart raced at the sight of Angel, disheveled and anxious. Curiosity overcame me, and I opened the door. "Hannah," Angel's voice was raspy. "Can we talk?" I hesitated, but eventually stepped aside to let him in. He surveyed my neat, welcoming apartment. "You look good," he remarked quietly. "The place looks nice." "Thanks," I replied cautiously. "What brings you here?" Angel collapsed onto the couch, his distress evident. I messed up, Hannah. I see that now. I came to apologize and to ask for your help." I sat opposite him, silently urging him to continue. He confessed that he had lost his job due to company downsizing and was struggling financially, still burdened by the loan for his sister's car. "Anna refuses to sell the car or find a job. She's not ready yet," he explained. Despite a fleeting sense of satisfaction, I remained composed. "I'm sorry to hear that, Angel, but I'm not sure how I can help," I said as he looked at me, desperation in his eyes. "Our apartment is a disaster. Anna doesn't clean, and the kids are uncontrollable. We're at risk of eviction due to the mess and noise," he admitted, realizing the gravity of his situation. "I now understand that Anna isn't just struggling, she's exploiting the situation, and I've allowed it." As I listened to Angel's admissions, I felt a mix of vindication and pity. His realization was a step, but our paths had irrevocably diverged. I could only hope that he would find a way to change his circumstances as I had mine. Feeling a swirl of bittersweet emotions, I acknowledged my correctness, but questioned the price paid. Angel, his voice faltering, expressed his desire for a fresh start. "I know I don't deserve this chance, but I'm hoping we could try again. I've learned so much, and I miss what we had. Maybe, with your guidance, we could mend things." His words momentarily took me back to the blissful beginnings of our marriage, the shared dreams and plans for our future. However, the sting of his betrayal, the humiliation, and the months I felt overlooked and unappreciated quickly resurfaced. Taking a deep breath, I addressed him. "Angel, I appreciate your apology, and I'm sorry for the struggles you're facing, but I can't revert to our past." His face dropped in disappointment, yet he persisted. "Hannah, I've changed. I see everything so clearly now." I responded softly but firmly, "And I've changed too, Angel. These past few months have revealed my strengths and the respect I deserve. If you could betray me once, it's possible it could happen again when times get hard." He argued he wouldn't, claiming his lessons were well learned. "Perhaps you have," I acknowledged, "but that doesn't alter the fact that I found happiness and freedom on my own. I've relished making decisions for myself without needing to consider a partner who failed to value my contributions." Angel's shoulders dropped in resignation. "So, there's no chance for us?" he asked quietly. Standing, I indicated the conversation's end. It's best you leave, Angel. I do hope things improve for you, but I'm not the answer to your problems. You need to depend on yourself and make your own decisions. He nodded slowly, rising to his feet. At the door, he turned back. I really am sorry, Hannah, for everything. I know, I replied softly. Goodbye, Angel. As I shut the door behind him, I leaned against it, exhaling deeply. A whirlwind of emotions enveloped me, sadness for the dreams once cherished, a slight sense of triumph at Angel's realization of his mistakes, but above all, an overwhelming feeling of relief and freedom.